Alright guys, welcome back. We are here on Lake New Melones. We are fishing the CVKF event. Launches at 5, lines in is at 5:30, and then lines out is at 1:30. We are fishing blind again. We figured we'd come out and fish this event. This will be pretty much our practice for next weekend, right? Next weekend is the Yak-a-Bass event. Pretty much practice, we're just gonna go scout. We'll cover a lot of water today, see if we figure something out. But hopefully we get on some fish today. It looks really nice out. We got a nice breeze. A little bit of overcast here and there. Hopefully that turns on the bite, but we'll see if we can put something together and maybe sack a decent bag or figure a pattern out. So stay tuned, guys. Not too bad, actually. Thought it was gonna be a lot smaller than that. Well, that's a scoreable one for today. I guess 16 and a quarter. A jig. Number 2, number 16. Guys, number 2, 16 inches. Is it alright if I work behind you? I only got 2. You? Oh man, any big ones yet? Oh yeah. I know, right? I'm looking around, like every now and then you see like some busting like in the open, but dude, I get to them, I throw to them, and they don't bite it. I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
I've only gotten 1 topwater bite all day. 1. Man, I'll see you in a bit.
All right, see you in a bit, dude. Like a 15-incher. You need some bigger ones than that. Short and fat. Short fat one. I guess 15.75. Right there. Yep, that's a good one. Nice and healthy one too. Alright guys, 17.5. fish. Little think. He'll call, but we need some bigger ones. Good one right there. Stay on. Big. Come on. Jeez, where's it going? There we go. Good large right there. Now that's an 18. Oh gosh, I didn't have that recorded, but caught a 19 and a quarter right there. Man, it's been a pretty tough day for me. You know, it's just sitting on top of these fish. They keep rotating back, and eventually one will hit. Just keep going over and over to them. But there's some pretty good fish in the mix. It's just, you know, it seems like whatever you throw at them, they don't bite it, and the only thing that gets their interest is the top water. So maybe I'll just keep chucking this around. Oh, that's a big one. It's on? Oh shoot, it is on. Oh, smaller than I thought. Jeez. Clobbered it. A little 16-incher. I got one kicker, so I'm looking pretty good. Alright guys, 16 inches. One. Oh, it came off. Oh, that was a bad idea. It's a little bigger than I thought. Jeez, chill out, man. Maybe 17. That's a good fish. I probably have to change angles a little bit too. See if they want to drag it the other way, but this spot is really, really snaggy, so. Oh gosh, whatever that is, that's a big one. Nah, it's just real cool. Oh gosh. Nah, it's little. Oh. Gotta love that jig bite, right? Maybe it's not gonna be 17. It's not gonna help. Maybe 16. There you go. Little squeaker. Good 14-incher. Alright guys, so a little update. You know, we got a pretty solid bag. No complaints at all. We got one good fish. The rest of the fish are pretty solid as well. We got roughly about 2 hours left to fish. I might have to start heading back in early since it's such a far run, but a pretty good day of scouting. It seems like the ones in the back of the pockets are largemouth, but majority of the fish were a lot smaller. It seems like when we got closer to the main lake, there was a better quality fish out here. But they're very hard to catch, actually. You know, you see them a lot in the live scope. You just can't convince them to go. Still pretty tough, but pretty good day of fishing. So hopefully we can call one more, you know, but other than that, you know, I'm pretty satisfied with the bag that I have right now. We'll see if we can get 1 or 2 more fish and then call it a day, guys. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're setting up right here. Now we're gonna cast this way. See if this angle gets bit. That's a good fish. There we go. Might go. All right, guys, good call. 17 inches. Big spot right there. Jeez. All right, that's definitely gonna help. Probably like 18-inch spot right there. Yes, sir. Choke the jig right there. All right, guys, 18 1/4. A nice fish right there on the jig. Man, so I'm working this jig. Gotta work it pretty fast because the bottom is really sticky. The bottom is a lot of slate rocks, so if you let this jig sit too long, it's gonna get snagged. So I gotta keep moving it, and hopefully one grabs it. As you guys can see, there's a bunch of fish, but a lot of those are really small fish. The ones that are bigger are actually glued to the bottom. Because when I start my top water, every now and then you'll see a really big one shoot all the way up from the bottom. These little ones will just tail it, but they won't bite it. But it's the ones that you can't see is the ones that you want. Jeez. Decent quality fish right there. I don't think it's gonna help though. Probably gonna be like a 16 3/4, 16 1/2. That's a good fish right there. Maybe not. Jeez. Hit it like it was a good one too. Like a 16. Oh, maybe not. Why did they feel so big? Still a lot of fun though. 16. Alrighty, folks, that is gonna be a wrap for today. Pretty good day overall. You know, we caught a lot of fish. You know, the wind came a little bit later than what I wanted. You know, I was hoping the wind would come earlier, so it might change up. But I think the wind would definitely help that bite. But you know, we checked a few offshore stuff and caught some fish on that stuff. So that's something I can probably fish next weekend. But pretty good day overall. We'll see how we do. Hopefully we make a top 5. So we'll see what happens, guys. Next time. Hey. All right, guys, that is going to be a wrap for Central Valley Kayak fishing on Lake New Melones. Kind of recap of the day. We didn't get to practice, and plus we have a tournament next weekend, so I figured it's a good time to go. This would be a good practice session for that event. First thing in the morning when I was making a long run, I noticed a flat in about 40 feet, and I seen a lot of fishes spinning around it. I started with the flutter spoon. This time of year, summertime, flutter spoon is a pretty good choice of bait for suspended fish. So when I first cast it to them and I seen how they reacted to it, they weren't really willing to bite it. I did catch one on it. I had to work pretty hard to catch that fish, and usually in the summertime when the spoon bite is really good, they just crush it as soon as they see it. So right away that kind of told me that spoon bite really isn't there, so don't invest too much time in that. But I really just put it away and I went to go do some other stuff. But we ended up making a long run. I want to check farther away because I know next weekend on the Yak-a-Bass event there's gonna be probably close to about 100 anglers, and I kind of want to get away from the crowd, so I wanted to check far away. I went back in the pockets. I seen a lot of bait, caught a couple keepers back there, but I noticed the fish that were busting bait back there were a lot smaller, your 10 to about like 14-inch fish. I did catch one about 15 3/4 back there, but not really seeing anything that I really like. Your average fish for this particular lake should be about 15 to 16-inch fish, and if you want a shot to make it in the money, you're gonna need at the minimum 16 inches, right? So you should not be targeting these fish that are 14 15 inches. You need to be looking for anything 16 and above. In order to make it into the money spot, you need at least a limit of high 16s or 17 inches, and with one kicker to make it into money. That's just how New Melones has always fished every tournament pretty much. Anything under 15 inches, I didn't want to invest a lot of my time measuring these fish, because every time you measure a fish you take up quite a bit of time when you can make another cast, and that cast could be that big one, right? Especially when they're popping bait and stuff like that. And plus, if you fish New Melones and you catch these spotted bass, you know how hard you have to fight them in the boat. You try to put them in the boat, they flop everywhere, and they're wrestling them in the boat. So you invest a lot of time doing that. The thing about the spot that I was fishing is it's just a long point. So I'm sitting there. I did catch a bunch of those fish on the top water, and and then they'd leave. Eventually they'd come back. And the thing is that it's much more harder to chase these fish. You're better off just sitting on a high percentage spot and waiting for these fish to come into you, especially if the wind's blowing directly on it. These fish will eventually come by, and they show themselves right away, because when they come by, they'll start busting these bluegills that are on the bottom. A lot of these other fish, the smaller fish, were chasing the shad, but these bigger fish were pushing the bluegills that were on the bottom, because on the bottom you'll see on the forward facing sonar, you see small little groups of bluegills and crappie. When they came through, they pushed them onto the surface and started busting them, and they'll leave right away as soon as you catch one of them. So you really have to just be very patient and have that top water ready, and if they start busting, start casting out to them, and usually if it's around them, they bite it right away. They weren't shy at all. When the fish weren't around, I throw a football jig. This is a 1/2 ounce football jig. This color is a phantom crawl, which is a green pumpkin and orange belly. And the trailer I was using was a Gary Yamamoto 4-inch twin tail, and this color is a cinnamon purple. Very natural green pumpkin. You got a little bit of brown and orange. Very natural. It's very small and compact jig. This is a 1/2 ounce. It's a very small jig compared to the other football jigs, but it does have a really stout hook. Majority of my good quality fish did come on a football jig, and then once the fish that were roaming around, and when they came back, they started busting a little bit or started to show themselves, I'd throw that walking bait, right? The walking bait was a big player, and this one in particular is a Teco kick knocker. You guys seen in my previous videos, I throw this one a lot. This one is a killer right here. This color in particular too, it's usually sold out almost all the time. This is the particular one I throw, pretty much the only color I throw from them. The thing about this bait, it is really loud. When the fish are very active or feeding very aggressively, the louder the better. The bite did come in the afternoon. Usually that's how it is on New Melones. Anything you catch in the morning is always usually a bonus, and then once it hits about like 10 o'clock till 3 o'clock, the bite gets extremely good, especially when the wind starts kicking in, boat traffic starts to come, moving a lot of water, and that's when the bite gets really, really good. We did finish in first place for New Melones. Got a nice big plaque for it, and also we caught the tournament big fish as well. So yeah, and it got me 2 plaques. But yeah, it was a good it was a good day all in all, you know. But other than that, that is gonna be it for this video, guys. You know, we do have another tournament there next weekend. Hopefully we can replicate it, but it's gonna be a much more crowded lake. The water is gonna be going down, I'm pretty sure. Just by looking at the bank when we're coming in, the water had probably dropped about like a feet or so. But hopefully the bite doesn't change too much. If it gets tougher, topwater bite will probably still be there, but maybe like very scattered. It won't probably be very consistent. But for sure, I know we can probably catch them on a jig. This is summertime in New Melones. You can always catch jig fish. So really looking forward to the next event. So once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.